Oh shit! Welcome back to another episode of Ministry of Truth. I'm your number one host on this show because, well, I'm the only host on this show. And if there was another number other than one, I guess it would be 9. So you could either call me the 8th or 9th or one first host of the show, only host of the show. Brain's not working, guys. So I got a lot of news for you today, obviously, because the world is fucked up and we know it. We're going to talk about South Korea. We're going to talk about Africa. We're going to talk about United Health CEO assassinated in New York City this morning. We're going to talk about that too. But before we get anything of that, we know I'm going to play a music video because it's that kind of aura. Right? You guys ever notice my intro is the only one that's ever done live? Just saying. Anyway, I know some of you don't like this guy. Don't give a shit. This song popped in my head, and we're going to listen to it. Why am I trying to replace my screen? I forgot how to work my computer. Hello? Yeah.
Lately, USA is getting scarier. Half of the Americans I see all hate America. They hate the cops doing their best to take care of us and kneel for the flag and salt the soldiers that we're burying. I'm tired of the pissing and complaining. Why you living in America if all you do is hate it? You think it's brave to take a stand against the nation? Real bravery is dying for the right so you can say it. Dear America, what happened to Americans? Apparently no one's aware or cares that it's embarrassing. It's arrogance. Our greatest enemy was always slavery and terrorists, and now it's people in the country trying to burn the heritage. I can't help it, I just seem to see the world different. It ain't Republicans or liberals, it's mental illness. The internet is only interested in left opinions. Cancel culture's got more power lately than the First Amendment. If you don't like it, leave. We will not defund police. We don't want no riots in our neighborhoods or in the streets. We respect freedom of speech. We protect what we believe. We don't want nobody dead, so please do not tread on me. In America, cause freedom ain't free. In America, got soldiers dying overseas. So America.
Didn't realize I drank 2 cups of coffee already. What the fuck is wrong with me? Alright, that was the first and only music video we're going to
So there was a deadly shooting.
We're going to go through some videos on X. You guys know how I like X videos. And sometimes you see shit that you shouldn't see. And, well, we're going to see it because I gives 2 fucks. And we're here for it. So first video is, I don't know. I just picked it because it said MAGA, where y'all at? And I just wanted to watch it because I know where I'm at. I'm actually, I know where I'm at. Dude, I look like Forrest Gump. I was running. Funny thing is, I used to run marathons. 50 miles in 12 hours is my best time. Unless you count the Spartan race. Then it was 36 miles in 4 hours, 21 minutes. Boom! Right out of Afghanistan. Anyway, enough about me because I could talk about me all day. And that's definitely not the screen I was running to show. See what happens when you guys get me, don't know really what the word is.
Where's MAGA?
Right here.
Why is MAGA so quiet?
Right here.
Have they finally came to realization that
Everyone.
they know they fucked up? They know they fucked up.
I don't think I fucked
MAGA been mighty quiet. Hey MAGA, where you at?
I'm right here.
Where you at, MAGA? Where
We're
you at,
everywhere.
MAGA? Y'all fucked up. Y'all fucked up. You know you fucked up. You know you fucked up. And you can't admit it.
You sound like the liberal media.
You can't admit it. You won't admit it. Where you at, MAGA? Where you at, MAGA? You know you fucked up. You know you fucked up.
Yo, is she trying to drop a mixtape?
Where you at?
Terrible mixtape.
Y'all supposed to be taking this year out with a bam.
We are.
Because y'all won the election.
Well, we have.
But y'all mighty goddamn quiet.
No, we're not.
What's going on? You're feeling funny.
What are you watching?
Feeling real funny.
You must be on the wrong side of
Because
TikTok.
you know you didn't win fair. It wasn't fair.
What the fuck is this bitch talking about? This election wasn't fair? Have you seen the fucking map? Have you seen the popular vote? Have you seen the Electoral College? Probably not. You're probably looking at a 2020 map. We didn't win, obviously. Yeah, update your Internet Explorer because it's actually out of date now. They don't even use it.
And you know it in your heart and soul. You know it wasn't fair. It's just the thought of knowing that you won. Wow. Bless y'all soul.
Thank you.
Bless y'all soul.
Thank you. So many things I don't understand what's wrong with that lady. So many things. Because last I checked, that was a free and fair election. Because if it wasn't fair, Kamala Harris would have won $2.5 billion. And she didn't win. Oh, excuse me. On to the next. These. Oh, right. You guys remember the Gideons? I think they're the Gideons. Anyway, when they came to schools when we were a kid and handed out those little Bibles, didn't really know what it was, didn't really care. But this lady apparently cares. What's up, Zero?
That's what my 5th grader brought home today. That is correct. They stopped the entire class
Right.
to pass out Bibles to everybody.
All right.
So it's beginning. Where do I go from here? Guess
Well, lady, they're passing around Bibles in class. Where do you go from here? Nowhere. Really, where the fuck do you want to go with this? You can either take it, you can't take it, throw it away. Do whatever the fuck you want with those. Those papers are really good, though. I mean, no. I love this story because I'm going to talk about it so much. I'm going to talk about it twice. Because guess what? What all these motherfuckers on the left that were like, we want free abortions, women's rights, my body, my choice. Well, here's the next best thing that they've come up with.
This is an emergency. Please call 911. Jen, how can I help you?
Hi, I'd like to schedule an appointment with Dr.
And are you the subscriber for this coverage?
Yes, ma'am.
And what's this appointment for?
A consultation for sterilization.
Alrighty, I have you scheduled.
if you own a uterus and you live in America, it is the time to start seriously seeking sterilization. If you are done having kids, if you never want kids, if you're not on birth control, I don't care if your partner has a vasectomy, like it's still imperative that you seek protection for your body. And in my opinion, like birth control is not enough. And at this point, you need to get it done.
You know what works better than birth control? Abstinence, you dumb cunt. But this is 2024. I mean, I wasn't exactly,
You need to seek it and get on a waiting list and go to whatever doctor you need to go to make it happen now before it's illegal. And it's non-negotiable.
Become illegal
if you are serious about
motherfucking pedophiles. Same thing. Some of these trans motherfuckers are sterilizing themselves. I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah.
Not having kids. America is no longer a safe place to have a child.
Whose fault
It
is
is
that?
no longer a safe place to be pregnant or become a mother. It is no longer a place that we have reproductive freedoms. And I cannot stress enough how much relief that I have because I got my tubes out 3 years ago.
So what the
I have no
fuck are you
kids.
worried about?
And it was one of the hardest things I had to fight for over a decade. And I really feel like it is one of the only things bringing me any kind of sense.
Now, if you had to fight for it for over a decade, is that because you wanted your insurance to pay for it?
It's a piece after the news that we have this morning.
Yeah. I 100% stand behind anybody on the left that, wants abortion, has decided to shave their head for the 4-H, movement, whatever the fuck it's called. I did 4-H in high school, by the way. Yeah, I got the green thumb. Motherfucker, I could grow shit. I wonder why. Fuck, man. If you want to sterilize yourself, go ahead. It doesn't affect me. It's when you start telling other people, hey, you know what? You really want to get back at the America? Sterilize yourself so we can't reproduce. Wait, hold up. If you sterilize yourself because you don't want to reproduce, does that mean the best stock is going to go forward? Yeah. Oh, yes. So this next one is about Pete Hegseth and how the mainstream media is talking about how he likes to drink a lot, and he's been drunk at work. He used to drink
a dozen times.
Shut up. All I have to say on this story is I, too, am a combat veteran who's seen a lot of shit. I used to drink a lot of fucking alcohol all day long, especially when I retired. Get the fuck out of here. Tell me a combat veteran that, well, combat veteran that's seen combat. Tell me they don't drink. I smoke weed now, but I used to drink way too much.
3 current, 7 former Fox employees telling NBC News Pete Hegseth would drink in ways that concerned his colleagues. 2 said he smelled of alcohol before going on the air as a co-host of Fox and Friends.
Hey, dude. We used to drink all night long. Be fucking schmammered. Get up for a fucking 10-mile run at 4 in the morning. And guess what? We smell like whiskey. But when you're in the Army, you're taught to run and shoot, move, and communicate wasted. I mean, some of us were. I loved it.
This weekend, more than a dozen times, NBC News reports 3 current employees said his drinking remained a concern up until Trump announced him as his choice to run the Pentagon, at which point Hegseth left Fox. For the sake of national security, I really hope he has stopped drinking, one of the former Fox employees said. He should not be Secretary of Defense, another former Fox employee said. His drinking should...
It's one of those things like, hey, if I got a problem with you, I'm just going to anonymously say it. That's some coward shit. Coward. Right?
Should be disqualifying, end quote. This follows a report from the New Yorker earlier this week that detailed accusations of impropriety and drunkenness that led to Hegseth's ouster from 2 top veterans groups nearly a decade ago.
Okay.
Spokesperson for the Trump transition tells NBC News these disgusting allegations are completely unfounded and false, and anyone peddling these defamatory lies to score political cheap shots is sickening. As a decorated combat veteran, Pete has never done anything to jeopardize that, and he's treating his nomination as the most important deployment of his life. Hegseth's lawyer referred NBC to the Trump team's statement, and Fox News did not respond to requests for comment. Joining us now, NBC News Pentagon correspondent.
You know what? I guess I'm kind of biased. I 100% support Pete Hegseth for the Secretary of Defense because, one, he remembers what it's like to be at the bottom of the barrel, the lieutenants, the specialists. Go from the bottom, work up. You know how the military's changed. These fucking colonels and these generals, once they get to that point, they're politicians, right? Then it's the honest truth. Look at fucking Milley. Look at Austin. That other fucker that I can't remember his fucking name right now. Politicians. And like I said, when it comes to alcohol and, drinking a lot, I feel him. I feel for him. Because I was there. Close enough to putting a 45 in my mouth. I was there. But yeah. I forgot what I was going to say because I just looked up on the next video. So President Joe Biden, he's over in Africa right now. And he's about to tell you how much money we're going to donate. Donate to Africa. Oh, I hit the wrong button.
That's the right thing for the wealthiest nation in the world to do. And today, I'm announcing over $1 billion in new humanitarian support for Africans displaced from homes by historic droughts and food insecurity.
Oh.
We know African leaders and citizens are seeking more than just aid.
So are
They
America.
seek investment. So the United States is expanding our relationship all across Africa, from assistance.
You think this is a ploy to mine? To mine?
To aid, to investment to trade, moving from patrons to partners, to help bridge the infrastructure gap. I was told, by the way, when I got elected, I could never get an infrastructure bill passed. You know, that's the right thing for the wealthiest nation in the
Did it
world
start
to
over?
do.
My bad.
Today,
Somebody wanted to
I'm
call me, so I had to, answer it. And then it's like, there's fucking robo-dials. All right, next story, which I don't remember what it was. I haven't pulled it up yet. Oh, yes. So those who don't know, it's Supreme Court. God damn it. Supreme Court's hearing cases today, and one of them is transitioning children in places such as Tennessee, because they're going to outlaw it, and they're wanting the Supreme Court to be like, hey, can you cover our ass? We want to transition. We want to transition, God damn it. No.
When 26 states have passed laws restricting healthcare treatments for transgender youth, according to a CNN analysis of data from the nonprofit think tank Movement Advancement Project. So how do you plan to argue before the U.S. Supreme Court in a case that could have wide-ranging implications beyond the state of Tennessee?
Well, thank you for having me, Jake. And obviously, this is a critical inflection point for transgender people across the country. We're coming off of an election season where transgender people played an outside role in people's consciousness in terms of the way in which we were situated as a threat to others. And when we look at the map of states that ban this type of evidence-based healthcare, we went from 0 states that had these bans in 2020 to now more than half the country. So before the court tomorrow, the question is really a simple one as I see it. It's really, this is a law that bans medical treatment only when it is prescribed inconsistent with an individual's sex. Our argument is that that treats people differently because of their sex, and therefore the court has to treat it like all other forms of sex discrimination, and that's why it's unconstitutional.
So attorneys representing the state of Tennessee told the U.S. Supreme Court, quote, if the government's theory holds, men who identify as women could claim constitutionally based access to women's bathrooms, women's locker rooms, and women's sports.
Why?
Accepting that theory would perversely erode women's rights and jeopardize landmark statutes protecting women's equal access to schools, winners' podiums, and beyond. What's your response to that?
Well, I obviously disagree with that premise that allowing transgender women into women's sports or women's bathroom is a threat to women, but it is also not the question before the court in this case. And in fact, it is a totally independent question about whether a law that bans medical care for transgender adolescents discriminates against people based on sex versus these separate cases that proceed.
Stop advocating for kids to transition. You're going to lose. You're going to lose. Supreme Court. Who do you think you're really going to win this?
Any of these healthcare bans will continue to be litigated in the courts regardless of the outcome here. So that clearly is conflating a bunch of different questions. The question before the court tomorrow is about whether banning medical care, overriding the consent of parents, the recommendations of doctors is a violation of equal protection.
What do you say to physicians who are sensitive and supportive of trans kids, obviously don't want suicidal ideation, et cetera, but wonder if there is enough data as of now to prove that it is beneficial to allow these sort of treatments before the age of 18?
So I would say three things. And the first is we have decades of both clinical experience and research data showing that this is medical treatment that provides critical benefits to adolescents who need it. And so this is not new. This is not new medication. And so we have that information. We have long-term studies that track people for 5-6 years. The Supreme Court this week heard arguments in an FDA case in which the FDA referred to long-term as being 6 months of follow-up. Here we have years of follow-up. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing I would say is nobody has to provide this medication to adolescents. These are not doctors being forced to provide this medication. These are doctors who are wanting to treat their patients in the best way.
We've gone over this before. Big Pharma is going to sell you anything and everything, and they're going to give doctors kickbacks if they prescribe certain medications. So doctors obviously go against their Hippocratic oath and allow this for children.
That they know how, based on the best available evidence to us. And these are young people who may have known since they were 2 years old exactly who they are, who suffered for 6-7 years before they had any relief. And what's happening here, it's not the kids who are consenting to this treatment, it's the parents who are consenting to the treatment. And as a parent, I would say, when our children are suffering, we are suffering. And these are parents who love their children, who are listening to the advice of their doctors, of the mainstream medical community, and doing what's right for their kids. And the state of Tennessee has displaced their judgment.
Earlier this year, England's National Health Service stopped prescribing puberty blockers for children with gender dysphoria, claiming that there's, quote, not enough evidence to support the safety or clinical effectiveness. It does seem as though, whereas Europe used to be more progressive on these issues, they're dialing it back now.
I don't totally agree with that premise. There's a subset of European countries that are imposing some guardrails on the prescription of the care, and the puberty blockers pause is temporary. And of course, there's no comparable restriction on restrictions for hormone therapy for transgender adolescents in the UK. But
you still have
all
a period?
of these countries that have taken a look at care in Europe and have put in some caution have not done two things that Tennessee has done. Stripped adolescents of the care that they are receiving, and that is something that Tennessee has done through SB 1. And the second is provide no clinical pathway for people to receive the care.
Yeti is absolutely correct. Advocates like this little faggot. Oh, it's been studies. People know that since the age of 2 that they want to transition, so they have to suffer through 5 to 7 years until they can get this life-saving surgery, which, by the way, is illegal in other countries. It's not surgery, it's pills, and pills like that make patients for life, especially if they go through with the surgery. Yes, puberty blockers are fucking permanent. I don't know why they keep saying, oh, it's just temporary. Yeah, but you're blocking puberty for 10 years or 5 years. Short term. That's long term, I'm sorry. 5 years is long term. Not when you're 7 years old. Fucking retards, man. Supreme Court better be fucking smart. And I'm glad I live in Tennessee. So this motherfucker doesn't like it. I bet you he fucking lives in Nashville too, little faggot. Oh, man. All right, this next one, it just fills my heart with joy. You'll see why. With joy. Plenty of joy. I mean, my name. I bring joy everywhere. Just so you know. Hello, The View. What do you got to say?
You know what's in the air, Whoopi? Trumpism. We lost the election. Wait a minute. We lost the election. We're miserable. Half of this country is miserable. And let's just tell the truth. We hate that he won. We hate it. And everybody's uptight and crazy right now.
Well, then I'm going...
God damn it, Mr. Newsfilter. Why could you only give me that short little segment?
You know what's in the air, Whoopi? Trumpism. We lost the election. Wait a minute. We lost the election. We're miserable. Half of this country is miserable. And let's just tell the truth. We hate that he...
No. Oh, shit. I was listening to that bitch again. All right. Now we're going to get into the assassination for the United Care, right? Oh, healthcare CEO. That happened not that long ago. Actually, is this the updated one? Because the original one I saw early this morning, he was in critical And that's probably why they hid that video. Okay. So this is where they report he had already passed away.
In Midtown Manhattan early this morning. And unfortunately, the CEO of United Healthcare is now dead. Alexis McAdams is on the scene, is just right near Fox News studios. Alexis, what do you know?
Hey, Dana. So this is all still developing. It only happened in the past couple of hours, but I just got off the phone with an NYPD source who tells me that this was not a random attack. Okay, so I'm going to show you where this all happened, setting this up for you right here in Midtown Manhattan. This is also, to lay this out, right, one of the busiest times to be in New York City in the entire year. We have the Rockefeller tree lighting later on tonight, so there's going to be massive crowds, and this is happening just blocks away. So on their left-hand side here, okay, in Midtown Manhattan, you can see the Hilton. Well, that's where I'm told by police sources that the United Healthcare CEO was walking out this morning around 6:45, heading to a very important annual meeting here for the healthcare company when somebody was waiting for him, according to sources outside across the street, and shot him not once, but twice, once in the chest and once in his leg. Okay, so back here, we can kind of tell you this is all still developing here on the ground. The NYPD has a lot on their hands, like they always do, but especially right now during the Christmas season. So they're trying to figure out exactly what played out here. We're hearing they're going to hold a press conference here in the next hour or hour and a half, Dana, to try and calm some fears, because when people are watching at home, whether you're in New York City and you live here or you're visiting and you hear that there was a shooting where a man was killed walking outside of a hotel, they want to know, is that suspect still on the loose? Right now, we don't have that information on that suspect specifically or who they're looking for, but I'm told that he had a mask on and gloves, and they believe he was waiting for that healthcare CEO to step out of the way again. So we can kind of zoom in here as this is all still developing too on your screen. You can see that police tape and the crime scene there set up. But Dana, you know from walking around here not far from Fox News studios, this is a busy time, right? And a lot of foot traffic. So for this man to come out, Brian Thompson, 50 years old, of that hotel at 6:45 in the morning just off of 6th Avenue and get shot in the chest, you know, a lot of people are very nervous about what's going to happen next.
Are we, so right, I'm very familiar with that area. So that is also the Hilton residences, right? So, I mean, some questions I think you do not know the answer to, but let me just raise them here. Was he going to a meeting there? Did he have a room there? Was there going to be some sort of a conference there? Is that a place where you could have maybe a breakfast meeting as a business person? You want to get your day started early?
Yeah, so as of right now, what we're hearing is that he was just staying at this hotel. United Healthcare is based out of Minneapolis or based out of Minnesota, so he was in town for this annual business conference. He was reportedly heading on his way to that conference to try and just have his latest meeting that then United Healthcare did postpone after they found out about this, what they said was a medical emergency in the beginning. So we're trying to figure out exactly what happened, but to know possibly, you know, he was targeted, and then his family and friends at this time still, you know, haven't been notified, I was told by some sources. So they're still trying to work this thing on the ground, but
it's a stunner of a story.
Been notified. So, what's the best
story? And
let's put that shit on TV. So yesterday we were talking about North Korea. No, we weren't. We were talking about South Korea and how the president's like, you know what? I really think we should. I'm putting everybody on put some lockdown. This martial law. Opposition party wants to cut our budget by $4 billion. That's terrible. That's a bad thing. Lock this down because it's propaganda. And then you realize Parliament's like, you know what? No, you can't do that. You can't do that. We vote no. So all that was just for show. And we'll let Anthony Blinken talk about it while I go downstairs.
Thanks very much. Michael Birnbaum, Washington Post. Secretary Blinken, President Zelensky in the last few days has signaled some openness to abandoning Ukraine's effort to regain all of its territory by force in exchange for NATO membership. I wanted to ask what you thought about that strategy, if you thought that was a good idea, and particularly if you thought it was realistic, given that President Trump is about to come into office. And second, a question on South Korea and President Yoon. And maybe some of us in the press corps were with you in March at the Summit for Democracy in Seoul. Was it a mistake in retrospect to host a democracy summit in South Korea? And are you concerned that Kim Jong-un is going to use this moment of instability in South Korea and transition in the White House to stage a provocation? Thanks a lot.
Great. Thanks, Michael.
Fuck you, Blinken.
With regard to Ukraine, the most important foundational proposition is this. Ukraine and Ukrainians will decide their future. Any decisions that are made about how Ukraine engages the Russian aggression, where it wants to go, what it wants to do, these are decisions for Ukraine and its democratically elected leadership to make. And so from day one, we've repeated and we adhere to the mantra of nothing about Ukraine without Ukraine. Well, Ukraine has to make these decisions. I think what we're working to do in the time that we have left is to give Ukraine.
No, shut up. I'm tired of you. Here we go.
Major story here. Opposition lawmakers in South Korea have submitted a motion to impeach the country's president after he declared martial law in the country for the first time in more than 40 years. Now, the order was reversed hours after opposition from both sides created a massive political crisis. Now, here's how events unfolded, because things moved quickly. Late yesterday in Seoul, President Yoon announced he was imposing martial law in this televised address to the nation, vowing to eliminate, quote, pro-North Korean forces in the parliament. Well, after the president's address, troops moved in on South Korea's parliament with this surveillance video capturing soldiers.
Remember, opposition party wants to cut $4 billion from their budget. Why does that seem like a bad thing?
Arriving by helicopter. Chaotic scenes followed outside, where protesters right here are clashing with troops. Now, one opposition lawmaker, in fact, filmed himself. He's climbing over a fence here to enter the country's National Assembly. Then in the early hours of this morning in Seoul, 190 lawmakers voted unanimously to override the president and lift the declaration of martial law.
No shit.
Following that vote, President Yoon formally lifted martial law at around 4:30 a.m. local time during a cabinet meeting. In all, martial law was in effect there in South Korea for around 6 hours. Remy Inocencio is following all of the latest developments for us from Seoul.
Errol, yes, only for 6 hours, but the fallout here is still being felt, and that hasn't stopped street protests like this one right behind me against President Yoon Suk-yeol. Now, his approval numbers have sunk to near record lows. At the last Gallup poll that happened last week, they've sunk to about 19%, and his declaration of martial law has frankly made more people even angrier at him. Tonight, there is this protest march organized by South Korea's biggest labor union. It's been a weekly thing since he took office back in 2022, but there definitely feels like there's an added electricity that Yoon could be forced to resign, or that his impeachment is imminent now that those opposition lawmakers that you mentioned have submitted that motion in the National Assembly. Looking at this from the broader regional Asia perspective, the concern is that North Korea, China, and Russia are watching this destabilization in South Korea's democracy. Their leaders, Kim Jong-un, Xi Jinping, and Vladimir Putin, may even be cheering on the chaos here as they see any signs of instability in South Korea as some.
If there was any signs of instability in South Korea, that Kim Jong-un was like, you know what, this is the perfect time. He would have struck within a minute's notice. The peninsula would have been fucked up. Quick.
Thing that they could potentially take advantage of. But remember, about 28,000 U.S. troops are stationed here in South Korea. Whatever happens with this country domestically and its president and its tarnished democracy, that U.S. troop presence, Errol, is not expected to change.
Fascinating scenes there.
28,000 troops. They don't tell you some of those troops, airmen, whatever that part they are, have their families there as well. So it's more than 28,000 troops. Plus, we have tons of civilians that work for us. Maybe they were Korean. I don't remember. It was like 25 years ago. Oh, good God. Where the fuck is my mouse?
In
right.
the weeks.
So Tucker is going to come out with another interview that I can't wait to see. I know I'm not going to be able to play it on YouTube, so we know where I have to play it, and I'm going to play it once it happens, since I'm subscribed to him. He's going to give you a brief overview, since this is the second time he's been there.
In the week since we left Russia, Moscow, where we are now, in February after interviewing Vladimir Putin, we've watched from the United States as the Biden administration has driven the U.S. ever closer to a nuclear conflict with Russia, the country that possesses the world's largest nuclear arsenal. It has accelerated ever since, and it's reached its apogee so far in the weeks after Trump's election. He's now the president-elect. In that time, just a few weeks ago, the Biden administration, American military personnel, launched missiles into mainland Russia and killed at least a dozen Russian soldiers.
Facts.
So we are, unbeknownst to most Americans, in a hot war with Russia, an undeclared war, a war you did not vote for and that most Americans don't want, but that is ongoing. And because of that war, because of the fact that the U.S. military is killing Russians in Russia right now, we are closer to nuclear war than at any time in history. Far closer than we were during the Cuban Missile Crisis. That would mean the elimination of Russia, the United States, and most of the rest of the world. We felt there must be someone behind the scenes in Washington working to make sure that this conflict doesn't become a nuclear holocaust. But we found out that no, in fact, there is nobody. Tony Blinken, the current Secretary of State, cut off all contact between the U.S. and Russian governments. There is no back channel, there is no conversation, and there hasn't been for more than 2 years. That's shocking. Meanwhile, most Americans have no access to any perspective other than that granted to them by NBC News and the New York Times. They don't know how close we are. They don't know the Russian perspective. We've been trying for over a year to get that perspective out to American news consumers. We've also tried for over a year to get an interview with Zelensky, the president of Ukraine. We've attacked that from a bunch of different angles. We've spoken to a lot of different people around him.
Tucker is not going to fucking softball him like the other interviews they did where they're talking about fucking flowers.
Had dinner with them. We've been in talks continuously, and those efforts have been thwarted by the U.S. government. The American embassy in Kiev, which our tax dollars pay for, told the Zelensky government, no, you may not do the interview. You can talk to CNN, you can't talk to us. So we've been unable to speak to him. So we came back to Moscow yesterday to interview the foreign minister of Russia, Sergei Lavrov, the longest serving foreign minister in the world. He's been a part of this government for 25 years. He's been in the diplomatic corps for over 40, and ask him, where exactly are we? Are we headed toward an unprecedented conflict between Russia and the United States? Is there any way to peel Russia back from the east, from the sphere of China, back into the west? Is that alliance permanent?
Tucker is like the voice coming from Trump. I'm not saying that he's for Trump, because we know he is. But he's the open dialogue between the United States and Russia. Because obviously the government, as they said, 2 years. That's probably 2 years since we told him, or that dude from fucking England was like, you know what? Fuck that treaty. Fuck that ceasefire. We need to fight.
And does the election of Donald Trump mean an end to this war, which is reshaping the world, the U.S. economy, the global economy, and risking the life of every person on this planet? Is that possible? We just walked out of that interview. It's absolutely fascinating. It's coming very soon. We hope you'll watch.
Yes, Tucker. I will be watching. Crazy, right?
Breaking news tonight.
Nobody else wants to get into Russia to interview this guy? Are they afraid of going to Russia? Tucker's done it twice in less than a year. It can be done. It can be done. Moving on to corrupt politics, might as well. Those of you that know that for a while, months ago, we talked about a shitty town supervisor named Tiffany Henyard. She said she's going to be there forever, and there's no way y'all cannot get her reelected. Because they did reelect her. But come 2025, when they have their election, guess who's not on the ballot?
From suburban Thornton Township, more drama for embattled Supervisor Tiffany Henyard.
And WGN's Jenna Barnes is live in Homewood with more details for us right now. Jenna.
Ray and Micah, we were promised a raucous caucus, and indeed, that is what we witnessed. Thornton Township Supervisor Tiffany Henyard, who was appointed to that position tonight, lost her bid for the Democratic Party's nomination in this rarely used political process. It now appears if she wants to run for supervisor again, it will have to be as a write-in candidate.
Oh. She looked mad.
That is the sound of an auditorium full of Tiffany Henyard opponents rejecting her nomination for Thornton Township Supervisor in the party's first township caucus in decades.
How you ain't let the people be heard?
As she protested the process, arguing her supporters were still waiting to be let inside.
Guys, have a good night, eat the food, and be merry. This meeting is adjourned.
The meeting lasted only moments, but it was strategized beforehand. State Senator Napoleon Harris is the Democratic committeeman for Thornton Township. He alone decides whether to hold a primary election or a caucus. Amid the turmoil tied to embattled Supervisor Henyard, Harris chose a caucus and won the nomination.
The Democratic nominee for supervisor is Napoleon Harris.
Henyard walked out of the meeting and into a waiting SUV without speaking to us, but here's what she said before the caucus began.
They can't beat me. If they could beat me, they would have went to the polls.
What do you do tonight if you don't get the Democratic Party's nomination?
What do you mean? I will be victorious tonight. You will see. My people are here. They're not going to go nowhere. The show will go on.
Her allies now figuring out their next steps.
This is the biggest. This is the biggest. This is a fraud.
To fight the result.
This is
always money. That's
I would easily say hundreds of people that were not allowed in to be a part of the process.
Weird.
And we did hear quite a few.
You guys remember when your mayor was locking people out of town hall meetings?
Complaints tonight that Henyard opponents were allowed inside before her supporters. We know there was an event going on before the caucus began. Napoleon Harris's attorney told me that was a Democratic Party fundraiser, although Harris himself said it was not a fundraiser. So that's something that will certainly be examined in the coming days. I am told, though, that those people who were let in had their IDs checked to make sure that they were registered Democratic voters who live in Thornton Township. We're live in Homewood tonight. Jenna Barnes, WGN News.
The people have spoken. She refuses to accept it. You know, elections weren't free and fair. Sounds like that was the voice of the people. Now, there was people outside that were my supporters. You know, judging by that group and how many of them said fucking no that was inside, I don't think it would have mattered. Now, let's talk about another mayor who happens to be the mayor of one of the biggest cities in the world, or busiest cities in the world, because they never sleep. Now he bent the knee. He wants immigrants out. It's a big difference from 6 months ago.
The governor is the chief executive of the state of New York. And if she puts in place a ban that we are required to follow, we're going to do that. If she leaves it up to, like we've done in Albany before, a city of X number of people, they can make their determination, then we are not ready to make that decision yet because we need to get it right. And others tried and others failed. Now, we have a history of trying and succeeding, like Willis Point, like Brooklyn Army Terminal. You know, we've been able to land all these planes. I will ask the governor, let me do it so it's right. And then the other state could follow me, because we're going to get it right. We're not going to do it and then have to go backwards. So I would, in my conversation with the governor, she hasn't mentioned that to me, I would share with the governor, give me an opportunity to get it right, and then the rest of the state can follow what I'm doing, because trust me, we won't go backwards when we get it right.
Really?
Our second question,
Yes.
I know on Liz's question, you seem to say that you are going to be open to deporting asylum seekers who've been charged with a crime, but you want to talk with the border czar. I just want to make sure that we got that right. And then in regards to meeting with the border czar, has Homan responded to your request for a meeting, and is there one on the books?
This wasn't new. I've always stated I wanted to address those who commit crimes. That's always been.
No.
You're open to deporting
I'm open to having a conversation on how you will implement that. You got a guy, he's on camera shooting a police officer. I don't want that guy in my city. You know, plain and simple. You got a guy that rapes one young lady, gets out, and go rape another person. I don't want them in the city.
And then did Homan respond to your request for a meeting?
Yes, he did. Yeah. And actually, I think he was on one of my favorite stations, Fox. You know, talking about that he's looking forward something about that I reached out and that he's looking forward to me this week or next week. So and we communicated this morning, and he stated that you know, once he settles here, we reach out and we'll coordinate. Our teams will coordinate for the most part.
Crazy.
Thank you. Hi, Mr. Mayor.
How are you?
I'm all right. Two questions on the immigration deportation front.
Yes.
First, so in your view, someone is a criminal if they have been charged with a crime?
Yes.
Because you yourself have been charged with crimes,
Mhm.
right? But
he's not illegal.
So that's one question. The other is if you were a law-abiding asylum seeker in New York City, you know, someone who's doing the best they can to get ahead and
Yes.
all of that, sending their kids to school, would you be scared about the prospect of the incoming administration?
Okay, two things. Your first part, I'm an American. Americans have certain rights. You know, the Constitution is for Americans.
Goddamn right, Adam.
A person that snuck into this country. My ancestors have been here for a long time.
Yo, this dude's starting to sound like a Republican.
For a long time, and I don't know if that's your blouse is made of cotton, but they used to pick some of that. So, what rights I have, the person that decides to shoot a police officer, they should not have those same rights. Okay, that's my position, and I look forward to hearing what is the idea of the border czar. I'm looking forward to that. I've said it over and over again. We need to fix the immigration problem in the city. The American people said that. I don't know if you really watched the election results. The president-elect had the popular vote. Had the electoral vote. He was not indecisive on what his positions were. He was clear we need to secure our border and deal with the immigration issue. The American people heard it. They voted for it. I've said it before, over and over and over again. It didn't matter who was the president for me. I said the same thing. New York City should not be going through this. Chicago should not be going through this. Denver should not be going through this. The American people should not be going through this. And the migrants and asylum seekers should not be going through this. We're placing them in a position that is unfair and is inhumane. I cannot make it any clearer.
And on the second question, if you are a law-abiding migrant in New York City who is sending her kids to school and doing what they can to, you know, create a better future for themselves, would you be scared right now?
All these sanctuary cities that built all these housing for all these illegal migrants, right? What are they going to do with them? I hope they give them to the homeless. I mean, that would make a little more sense, wouldn't it? Not the Roosevelt. That's owned by Pakistanis. So I don't really know how we want to work that one.
Know about the incoming administration?
I think they should do what we told them to do over and over again. If you need police services because you're a victim of a crime, call the police. If you need health care here in this city, go to the hospital and get the medical attention you need. If you have a child, place that child in school so that child could be educated. Our city services are open to all people who are in this city. That is what we do. That is what the law requires us to do under the current law. And I believe we need to modify our existing law, as I stated, but they should not be afraid in this city. That's the purpose of sitting down, and I want to share my ideas with the incoming board of czars so I can hear his ideas. We don't know. All of us are speculating right now. This city is a city and nation of immigrants, as was pointed out earlier during COVID. They were in our streets. They were doing our job. They built our bridges. They've done all the things we needed in this city. And this is a sanctuary city. There's no getting away from that. And there are laws that are in place. And we're telling those law-abiding individuals that you just mentioned to use the city services that the law allows you to do.
Happening today, a landmark case.
Man, imagine if New York City became red. I know it's impossible. It's not going to happen. But just imagine. Shit would be crazy. You guys already know my position on illegal immigrants. My family did it the right way. Sorry. All the paperwork, all the background checks, all the proof, birth certificates, marriage certificates, $1,000, give or take, waiting to get a physical from a authorized hospital, but on the whatever country you're in. Come on, man. Coming here legally sucks, but you did it legally. And then 10 years later, you can get a green card. Citizenship. I've seen it numerous times. Anyway. I already talked about that. I don't want to do it again. Here we go. I do want to talk about... No, I don't. I already talked about that. All right. That was the news. And now we're switching to, terrible people in society.
Yes! You've been shot?
Ma'am. Ma'am, can you hear me? Breathe.
So this lady was shot, but that's not the bad part.
Gotta pause. You're good.
Just remember
We're good. We got you. Breathe. Just keep breathing. Keep breathing.
Oh my goodness. Homicide is here. She didn't die. Yeah, that's not.
A peaceful morning turns into a terrifying nightmare when a woman is shot and her infant twins are kidnapped. As the police scramble to save the mother's life, a deliberate attempt to spread misinformation leads investigators to a dead end they did not anticipate. With no witnesses to the crime, police must race against time to find the babies before they disappear forever.
Some Lifetime movies.
On May 11, 2021, Savannah police rushed to a scene of a brutal shooting. 23-year-old Gabrielle Rogers had been shot multiple times inside her home before the shooter kidnapped her 2 children. Though her injuries are severe, Gabrielle manages to run across the street to get help from a neighbor before collapsing on her front porch. The following footage has mostly never been seen before.
Where's she shot?
Yeah, let's fucking know, you guys.
We got one in the leg. We need a tourniquet. Do you have an extra set of gloves? Set of gloves. Tourniquet. I need gloves. Give the tourniquet on the leg.
You'll see her ear is all whatever. I don't know if it's here or down there. All I know is she told me she was shot. I don't know.
I got gloves.
If you turn her head on that
Why are
side
you
up here.
putting a is it on her femoral?
She has her kids. She took my kids.
That's
They
what's
took
happening.
And they took the 2 kids, 2 months old. Much tighter.
As officers assist Gabrielle, she shares a horrifying detail that she knows the shooter.
What's your name, ma'am?
Kathleen Daniel. She took my kids.
Kathleen what?
Kathleen Daniel took my kids.
Where does she live?
She lives cooler.
With the suspect's name identified, the officers are already a step closer to solving the case. However, they don't know yet that this information would in fact lead them down an unforeseen path of deception and twisted schemes. The shooter, Kathleen, had been visiting Gabrielle when she suddenly became agitated and claimed her phone was missing. When Gabrielle turned around to search for the phone, Kathleen strangled her with a phone charger and said, "Those are my kids, and I'm taking the kids." After a brief struggle, the suspect shot Gabrielle, grabbed the children from the nursery, and fled. As the officers work urgently to provide assistance to Gabrielle, her sister grows completely distraught.
Ma'am, can you hear me? Breathe. She's got a pulse. You're good. We're good. We got you. Breathe. Just keep breathing. Keep breathing.
Later investigation would reveal that the suspect and Gabrielle became fast friends, bonding online over Facebook chats about their pregnancies with twins, before meeting in person at the hospital for the first time the day Gabrielle had her twins. But Gabrielle didn't know that Kathleen is not who she believes her to be. At the crime scene, Gabrielle's sister Jasmine desperately tries to work through her trauma to provide a statement to the police, while a witness helps fill in the gaps.
And then the police officers, they said she's got 2 kids, 2 months. This is her sister that lives with her. She wasn't home at the time, so she don't know what's going on. Okay, ma'am. Twin boys.
They're about to be 6 months.
Okay. They took the woman that did this took them.
They were 6 months yesterday.
They took them.
No, 6 weeks. 6
So
weeks.
did you
6
see?
weeks.
She just said that's all the information that she gave.
I just came. And
She
I
just
saw
came.
blood
She
all
came
over
to
my
me.
living room.
Okay. She came to me and she said a friend of hers, do you know Gabrielle or Gabriel or something like that? Somebody took her kids. Came in, shot her, took her 2 kids.
She said one of her friends was going to bring her a whole bunch of formula, and I was at a job interview, and I just got home.
And you seen the blood in the house, right? You guys live together?
You know her name?
What's her name? What's her name?
Gabrielle.
Hers is Gabrielle.
What's your name? My name is Jasmine.
Do you know a Kathleen Daniels?
You do?
Who is that?
Okay.
Do you know where she lives?
Get them off the porch.
Come on, let's go. Well, I can't get on. That's what happened.
As the officers attempt to remove the witness from her porch, it only fuels the chaos while Jasmine breaks down.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, come with me, please. There's a 2 and a 2.5-year-old in there. I gotta take care of him. Yes, ma'am. How are you gonna take care of him? You can't even get in the house.
I have more stress right now.
I'm gonna go through my back door. I understand this, but I got 6 kids under the age of 6, and I got my blind husband. He can't walk. Get you through the back, okay? Just try to calm down. She'll be okay.
Okay. You know Kathleen Daniels? Do you know what kind of vehicle she drives, ma'am?
The last time she came, I believe it was a silver car. Before she said she had a white car.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. It's gonna be okay. So who is Kathleen Daniels to her? She met her at a mom's group?
She's just a friend she met on a mommy's group on Facebook.
Has she ever been in your house?
Yes, she has.
Apparently, Kathleen had met Gabrielle a couple of times and had provided baby supplies during some of those visits. As Jasmine continues to assist the officers, she shares information that potentially brings them closer to nabbing Kathleen.
We have a camera at our front door.
You have a camera at your front door?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Go ahead and pull it up for me.
Oh, Jesus.
As Jasmine searches through the footage, she makes a spine-chilling discovery.
So it's going to be about 15 minutes ago. So that'll place us about 10-15.
Okay.
Look around.
Awesome.
I only have these ones. I only have 9:57, 10:22. That's when I came. I don't know if they got it.
Oh, a vehicle, a picture of her vehicle? Was her vehicle taken or someone took the kids?
Her vehicle's in the backyard.
Okay, what about the people that took the
Who
kids?
took the kids?
You have a camera in the backyard?
It's a girl she met on the mommy group. She told me before I left this morning that she had a whole bunch of cans of formula that she was bringing over, and I left to go to a job interview, and I just got back and I saw the blood on the floor.
All right. Did you? So we don't. The lady was already gone and the kids were gone. So no one's seeing that, to your knowledge.
No.
Uncannily, Kathleen is never caught on camera, and police must now rely on Jasmine's description to find the suspect. Back on the porch, paramedics arrive to rush Gabrielle to the hospital, as other officers work to secure the crime scene.
Yep. Pulse, breathe in. He's breathing, got a pulse.
Oh, good.
Shoulder to the head. Chest and arm.
Oh,
Feet first, Ian. Feet first. We're just going to take her straight up.
always feet first.
Slide. She was. She hasn't said anything in a minute.
What do we have on the kids?
Here, can you hold the chest? Hold the chest while I move this.
All right, try this.
Okay, just wait now.
No?
Well,
we gotta
Hey, Sarge, the house across the street, crime scene, there's blood everywhere inside. If you want to go across the street, that door, yeah, everything's inside. Lock that down.
You gonna put a chest tube?
Come down, nice and easy.
1241.
Doesn't look like it.
What's the signal out there on Southeast 36?
That's 7. Signal 7. Were you hurt, sweetheart? How many? What happened? Okay. How many shots?
Immediately after Gabrielle is placed on the stretcher, officers rush to clear her house, unsure of what dangers might be lurking within.
The house?
A grim discovery inside the house will soon provide critical evidence of the brutal injuries Gabrielle has endured.
Savannah police! Watch your back, Sullivan. Sullivan. There you go. Hold on, slide this way.
Yeah.
Slide to your left.
The sweet dumbass.
Savannah police! Just hold that.
Gotcha.
Hey, what do you got, boss? What do you have to your left?
Right here. Doorway right here.
Does it go all the way through?
I'm in the back.
Just go.
You see the bathroom?
Don't let anybody else in.
So how many times is she shot? 3. So there should be 3
Meanwhile, inside the ambulance, Gabrielle informs the officers that the suspect had stolen something else before she fled the scene.
She has your phone?
That's it. Done.
As officers locate the phone nearby, they suspect that Kathleen may have taken the phone from the scene, possibly to prevent Gabrielle from calling emergency services before quickly discarding it a couple of streets away. As officers run the name Kathleen Daniels through their database, confusing reports begin to pour in.
I don't know anything. I found one with a Pooler address in Tiburon. What's the address here? I don't know. Is it? Okay. Quick. Davis, Kathleen. We need to figure out who she is and how about how old.
And I got nothing for Kathleen Davis and Pooler.
While some of the officials continue to hunt for Kathleen in their database, other officers canvass the neighborhood, searching for witnesses and footage of the suspect's fleeing vehicle.
Hey, how you doing today, sir? This your neighbor? Did you see any cars flee out from there or anything like that?
Oh my God, no, I sure didn't, man.
Did you hear anything?
I didn't hear nothing, man.
Okay. How far down do you live?
I'm right there. There go my wife walking.
Do you know if you got any cameras down here or anything
No,
like that?
man, I've been meaning to put some. I ain't gotten some deer cameras or anything up.
Okay.
Maybe 20, 25 minutes before y'all knocked on the door.
You heard a loud bang?
Yeah, because I was in the kitchen talking to my brother and I didn't pay any more attention. That's when I went outside to smoke in the yard.
One or two?
One loud one. Yeah. And I saw the police cars start coming in. Yeah.
After you heard the bang?
Yeah.
About how much?
About 5 or 10 minutes later, the police started coming down.
With little to go on from the neighbors, police must rely on Jasmine and Gabrielle's statements. However, the details are few, and the suspect's dark motives still evade them.
Gabriella, stay with me, sweetie. There we go. Look at me. You're doing good. You're doing great. I know. We can't take it off yet, but we're at Memorial, so it'll be off in just a minute, okay?
With tensions running high, officers face a momentary roadblock trying to get a stranger off the crime scene.
Hey, my man, you gotta get on the other side of the tape. Get on the other side of the tape.
I'll
tell you in a second. Calm down.
Talk to you. Let us talk to you first.
Calm down, brother.
That's who he is, too.
What happened to her?
Shot.
What do you mean she was shot?
Hold on a second.
Let her explain. She gotta explain it to you, man. Hey, look, I get it.
As the community continues to reel in the shock of the attack, officers and detectives begin formulating theories for the motivation behind the diabolical crime.
Obviously,
the most prevalent theory is also that
fucking kids. Maybe she was pregnant with twins. Like I said, it's like a fucking movie. Like I've seen this before. It's not the first time it's happened. Oh, look, my kids. There's fucking a story out there a couple years ago where the lady literally cut the kid out of the belly. Because she wanted the baby.
The simplest.
Does she have any idea what happened? Why this?
Honestly, I think that it was an abduction.
What, girl?
I think it's an abduction.
I'm trying to get all that. She met somebody. I understand that. That's perfectly clear.
Somebody online.
So this is a person that's just befriending her, a female. Like, hey, girl, we can be mommy thing, whatever the case is.
We joined this mommy group.
Right. So what would be her motive? She wanted the babies?
She wanted the babies.
Or she want to get her out the house
She
for
wanted
somebody
the
to do it?
babies.
Okay, all right.
She wanted those babies.
Okay.
Stephanie, who does this?
That's some TV stuff.
Right, this is for
It's
TV.
TV.
Who does this? This is a woman. This is a woman that is claiming to have kids and probably don't really have those kids.
Yeah, that
but
want babies
She
and
wanted
kidnap
babies.
and selling them. So
Alright.
this is my thing.
Tell you, I only watched like the first 5 minutes of this, and it's quickly able to see why. Maybe it's because morbid mind, or just a very fucked up memory.
A white car is involved. Do y'all know anybody with a white car?
No.
That okay.
And how in the world can we have cameras out here and nobody don't see her, but you see everybody else that's coming to the door?
Crazy,
so
right?
obviously now I know she's been over here several times. So 9 out of 10, she's already kind of scoped
So
out.
she know the ins and outs
Right,
and how she
how
can
to get
maneuver and
around that
manipulate.
camera.
Correct.
If Stefan is correct, the suspect could have befriended Gabrielle to execute this frightening plot. Haunted by this unsettling theory, detectives speak with Jasmine, who shares more about Gabrielle's plans for the day.
Like I said, she came over and she said, I have a whole bunch of formula that I don't need because my babies don't drink that one. I remember her saying it
Kathleen said,
specifically,
right.
yes.
Okay.
And she told me this morning before I left that that was the person who was coming over to give her the formula.
What kind of formula?
The formula the twins drink is the Similac. She said it was a whole bunch of Similac because her twins don't drink that because they were smaller or something. Like one of her twin girl just came out of the hospital like last week. She got in a car accident the other day when she was supposed to bring over the formula, and I believe she went to Memorial. She works at Memorial as like in the ER.
As detectives dig deeper into the case, they're thrown off guard when they uncover that in one of her messages, Kathleen had claimed to work at the same hospital where Gabrielle was brought for emergency treatment now.
So the lady has twin girls too.
She has a boy and a girl.
She has a boy.
She had the boy at home, but the girl had to stay in the NICU. I remember her telling me that she brought her oldest child with her. He was 2. That's the only thing that I can think of because she said that the girl with the formula was coming and she was the one who said she had it. So it has to be her.
Shortly after, officers get their first breakthrough in the case when Jasmine shares a screenshot of Kathleen's image, taken from the Ring doorbell footage from one of Kathleen's previous visits. Officers accompanying Gabrielle at the hospital urgently search for Kathleen, looking to the hospital staff for answers.
So if I show you a picture, can you tell me if this is a bad picture, but does that look familiar to anybody that possibly works here that you know of?
Okay. Let's see, I see it.
Wasn't she here yesterday?
She has
She
the
was
long
here
braids.
yesterday.
She was here yesterday.
Yes.
Did you
Hold
work
on. This is the victim.
This is the suspect.
And what's her name?
Her name is Kathleen Daniels or Kathy Daniels. We believe our victim wasn't able to really, that was all she was able to say, and wasn't really able to give us much.
You're thinking of the same person I am, right?
The tech.
Yeah.
So there was,
heavier set tech. She was
here
she has
yesterday.
red braids, I think.
she has braids.
She was
Don't
here
quote me on
Okay.
that.
She was here yesterday. They have the same body build.
Unsure if the tech and the suspect are the same person, the hospital staff search through the names in their database.
Better.
However, they don't find anyone under the name of Kathleen Daniels or anyone who looks like the person captured by the security camera outside Gabrielle's home. With a promising lead quickly turning into a dead end, additional officers attempt to locate the list of visitors from the day Gabrielle gave birth at the same hospital.
So I'll be honest with you, since it's already on the news. There was 2 babies abducted today. Okay, so 2 babies abducted today. There was a woman who visited the victim here when she had her children on the 28th. The woman who visited her is the one who abducted the children. We're just trying to figure out who she
So was
is.
it a family member?
We don't know, and we believe she gave the victim a fake name because you guys don't have Kathy Daniels or Kathleen Daniels that meets her description in your database, but somehow she got here, back here. So
Is they're not able to give you any information without going through our legal department.
So go through them.
So we have to get you connected with them.
Okay.
Yeah, in order to give any information, and at that point in time, I think Rosemary can help you out.
While they couldn't obtain the visitor list from the hospital staff, the officers are about to learn something so extraordinary, it will completely flip the case over on its head. While Gabrielle fights to survive, police gain access to her phone, but somehow the social media profiles of Kathleen Daniels are nowhere to be found. With no proof that she even exists outside of the surveillance footage from a week ago, police have no choice but to go to the media and release the image from Gabrielle's Ring doorbell footage, along with an Amber Alert for the twins.
Oh, that's the alert. 2 6-week. Yep, 2 6-week-old twin black males last seen leaving Savannah with a black female. I hope they do.
on my phones.
Oh, you got both phones.
Remember this now.
You all get the alerts too.
Miraculously, tips pour in immediately from local residents. According to the police report, a tip from the community provided information which advised that the infants were being held inside a home in Rincon, a city nearby. The reason officers couldn't find a single record of the mysterious Kathleen Daniels is because she doesn't really exist. This wasn't a simple case of a missing record or a misspelled name. Rather, this was a carefully crafted deception, an alias designed by the suspect to shield her true identity from her crime. Behind the mask of this fabricated identity was a woman named Angela Montgomery.
I got you.
The pieces of this harrowing puzzle were beginning to fall into place, and this revelation would only lead to darker secrets being uncovered. A SWAT team rapidly heads to Angela's home. At her residence, officers found Angela's 2-year-old son, her fiancé Dale, her mother, and 3 sisters, and the greatest discovery of all, the missing baby boys. Officers carry the infants from the house to a nearby police car and finally share an update that everyone had been desperately waiting for.
Hey, babies. All right.
Where's
Hey, darling.
Somebody advised that we have both babies. I saw one. Somebody advised that we have both.
We have both. We have both.
At the time of her arrest, Angela was found naked and hiding in a closet.
Oh.
Outside, one of the detectives interviews Angela's mother, and what she has to share is nothing short of a nightmare in the making.
So Angela lives here. Whose babies?
Shaniqua.
I thought they were hers.
Huh?
I thought they were hers.
She had babies lately?
Yeah.
Okay. Where does she have her kids at, you know?
Today, supposedly, she had them. This is crazy.
Okay.
According to the police report, Shaniqua shared in a later interview that after she heard the Amber Alert, Angela took everyone's cell phones away and confessed to the kidnapping, saying, "I have something to tell you. I did something bad, and I know you and Dale are going to hate me for this." Shaniqua immediately told Angela to give the babies back, and Dale began packing the babies' things.
She had a baby today?
That's what she said.
When last time you saw her other than today?
Yesterday.
Where did you see her at?
In my house.
And she looked pregnant?
She's fat.
She's been pregnant. She's been pregnant. She was supposed to be being induced today.
Okay.
When officers and detectives began searching Angela's home, they quickly located 3 firearms. Additionally, some baby formula was found in the kitchen cabinets. The house appeared to be fully equipped for 2 newborn babies. Police also found a mysterious note along with a stunning piece of information, unveiling a horrifying and twisted motive that would shift the entire investigation.
So, why are you here? Just to help her? So, were you here when she came home with the babies? Oh, so, what did she say to you when you saw the babies? You held them? So, what did she say?
She said she had them.
Who was with her?
Nobody.
She was by herself? What kind of car she was in?
At the time, she had my car. She had borrowed my car.
According to the police report, when Shaniqua and Angela met at the hospital, Shaniqua observed one of the babies on Angela's dashboard and the other on the passenger seat. Oddly, both the babies were unclothed, but she didn't question her daughter about it. After completing the formalities at the police station, Angela is brought in for interrogation. Soon enough, Angela, aka Kathleen, confirms what Jasmine told the officers about the Facebook group. However, she divulges some major details which completely contradict what the police had heard from Jasmine and Gabrielle.
There was another person there today.
Okay.
And you can look up my birth records. I'm adopted.
Uh-huh.
And I have a sister.
Okay.
And we're twins.
Uh-huh.
We are not identical.
Uh-huh.
We are fraternal, technically. She was the other person there today, and use it against me. It's the truth.
Okay.
My sister showed up exactly 3.5 months ago. She's from New York. She lives in Jersey. I have her address.
As it happens, police never needed to verify any of the details concerning this other twin sister's involvement. According to the police report in an interview, while Angela's mother confirmed Angela was adopted when she was 2 weeks old, she reveals that Angela doesn't have a twin. Moreover, her family had no idea she'd not been pregnant for several months. Angela proceeds to ramble on about her fictitious twin sister Destiny, desperate to convince the detectives of her innocence. But they already know that
I have a bunch of twin brothers in my head. Depending on what day it is and what's going on, you'll see that guy. I'm legit.
Truth about what she'd done, and her attempts to convince them otherwise are in vain. The detectives confront Angela, demanding the truth about what really happened that morning.
I woke up this morning with plans to tell my fiance that I'm not, that I miscarried. And today was supposed to be your induction date?
Induced labor.
Or induced labor. Technically. I never actually planned an induction date. It was supposed to be Saturday, and Saturday I was going to tell Dale, and something happened with his dad that was freaking crazy, so...
That's right. Angela lost her twins to a miscarriage prior to meeting Gabrielle.
Nailed it.
After befriending her under the guise of also being pregnant, she posed as a helpful friend. During this time, she learned where the cameras in the nursery were located in her house, and then kidnapped Gabrielle's children. From there, she attempted to fool her family into believing the babies were hers, to then raise them as her own. This was eerily close to what Gabrielle's uncle...
She didn't think to call her fiance or her mom to the hospital while she's pregnant with twins. Hello, I'm giving birth. And they're like, oh, no big deal. Nah. And she stole their phones, all their phones, so they wouldn't get the Amber Alert. Shit's pretty fucking weird and calculated.
Stefan had theorized. When police were searching Angela's house, they discovered the astonishing evidence of the miscarriage, along with an unnerving note on her calendar.
So did she lose twins or something?
What?
Did she lose twins?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Okay, because I hate that she'd get them or something.
You might want to take a picture of that.
I did.
Okay.
With enough evidence to charge Angela and the children secure, officers share the happy news with Jasmine and her aunt.
We went over to try and let her know first. And she's in the back.
Twins, they're okay.
Yeah.
Where do they find him? Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Lincoln.
They were found in Lincoln? Okay.
So,
Thank you, Jesus.
and they also have a suspect in custody as well. Okay.
Perfect.
So.
On November 7th, 2023, Angela Kathleen Montgomery was found guilty with a mental health consideration of criminal attempt to commit murder, 2 counts of kidnapping, and aggravated assault. She was sentenced to 30 years in prison with a lifetime of probation. Gabrielle Rogers survived her injuries and was reunited with her children. She is on the road to a full recovery.
Good. Fuck that bitch. Alright. So this next one, it's from another content creators who have 2.18 million subscribers, so I'm going to use their content under fair use. I promise. Promise. No, just kidding. They don't mind when people do it.
Deleted. And deleted.
Wait.
And deleted. And deleted.
Montreal, man caught taking pictures of underage girls. Oh, and you know, that's weird because I never really thought about that. You know, sitting on a train or a bus or whatnot, and you think motherfuckers texting on their phone, those cocksuckers could be taking pictures of my fucking kids. Huh.
Deleted and deleted. And deleted. No, go
Back to reset your phone.
where the photos were deleted and deleted.
I like how he's acts like he's a deleted folder. So if you guys are confused what's going on, I guess somebody caught this guy taking pictures of underage on the metro, which is our version of the subway, and confronted.
Are we not supposed to say underage kids on YouTube? That's kind of weird.
Him and the guy, I wouldn't have believed it if I didn't just see this guy start deleting the photos.
There's so much of my girlfriends that are like reporting creepy shit on the metro since for ages.
Right.
That's not new to me.
You're perfect. You're perfect. Yes, you pictures of a girl 4 years old taking pictures of a girl. No, let me see your ID.
You say you're not taking my phone. That's where the good stuff is.
Yeah.
You can't have that.
Because
I actually might go to jail.
That's
to
the
get
plain
that.
goal. If you get a hold of my phone, shit, I'm fucked for real.
Hey,
you're not taking my phone. That's my property of insane shit.
Somebody go swim in the St. Lawrence River. There's a phone in there right now. There's a phone in some landfill right now.
No, let me see your ID.
Let me see your ID. That's the whole police right there.
So you know why I was bringing up his reaction, how weird it is? He's having a flight or fight response right now because he's been caught.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if you're not guilty of this, you vehemently deny it, and then if people keep harassing you, get off. This guy's sitting there, and he's on camera, and he realizes he's fucked.
Yeah.
Like a deer in the headlights.
But he's not really, but in his head he is. Does that make sense? Because think about it like this. Think about it like this.
Coconuts and Barbados.
If you're the guy behind the scenes, all right, is it because maybe he's guilty? So this guy's sitting there, right? All he has to do when he gets accused is get off.
Yeah.
And they can't do nothing.
No.
Right? But
I'm feeling if this happened in New York City, I guess I'm going to say New York City, he'd probably get his ass whooped right there on the train. Then again, times have changed.
There because he's panicked in his own head and he's just taking it.
Guilty or not, people don't feel like they have to prove anything if you're not the cops.
You would think, but even if you're not the cops, if you're confronted by people who've seen you do something bad and you know it's bad, right? Like, most people know what they're doing is societally seen as bad. Even if you're not the cops and you're confronted about it, your first instinct is to freeze. Because it's not about criminality. You're thinking about the law. That's not what they're afraid of. Is everyone else is going to know what they've done. What they're afraid is their family and friends are going to know what they are. That fear is actually what drives them more than prison.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Obviously
because they
not.
live in the shadows for so long and they hide their fucking sickening behavior. That it being exposed is like they've already been caught by the cops. This is their version of cops for regular people.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have been a piece of shit that had sex with your 11-year-old sister when you were 14, stepsister, and then you tried to meet two minors at a Walmart. You piece of shit soldier. Brandon Story, Fort Caution, Colorado.
The truth coming out about what they are. And for most people, that's actually scarier than prison. Because when you've lived a facade your whole life, it doesn't matter if it's about this, about even anything else. Like,
Let me see your ID. Let me see your ID. Let me see your ID.
Whoa! Whoa! Get him! Get him!
okay, so I'm going to say something that's true, but I don't like it. What this guy did is not illegal. Them putting their hands on him is. And especially in a country like Canada, where, I mean, this would be true.
You can go to jail for that.
You cannot
what this guy did, like taking pictures of underage people, is not illegal.
No.
Crazy story.
He just took.
I don't know if it's still true, right? But in Canada, if you're a sex offender and you're put on a sex offender registry, the only people that know about that sex offender registry and can see it is law enforcement.
The picture of people.
Unless it's an upskirt photo, it's not
Yeah,
illegal to take
okay.
people
Okay,
in public places. My point is, them putting their hands on him is. So if this ever goes, and this is the fucked up part, I'm not saying they did the wrong thing. Don't misunderstand. I'm saying if this goes in front of the cops, they're the ones who getting arrested for grabbing his property, for putting their hands on him.
He's pressing charges. Yeah, it might go down that way.
That's what I'm saying. So that's the fucked up part about this. People see this and they think that their instinct is to act, and I understand it. I'm not saying, again, what they did is wrong, but legally speaking, they have no right to do what they did.
I did, bro. No. I did.
Okay.
They're holding him against his
You
will.
can't hold them on the track. Again, I want this guy behind bars, but this is not the way. And this makes me think of sometimes those vigilante guys who go after hunters and then the guys end up going free because they've botched the police investigation. This is one of them kind of situations where what these guys are doing is illegal. You cannot stop someone from getting off the train, especially if they've not or committed some kind of grave crime. You can't do that.
Yeah.
But I understand it because I would not feel comfortable with this guy roaming about. So I'm not trying to critique these people and say, I'm saying they're not protecting themselves from potential legal ramifications if this guy decides to press charges.
No. I did.
Sit your ass down.
I did. Let me see your opus. Turn it around. Open your phone. Go in settings.
Great.
Because his name is on the settings. Go in
Who are
settings.
you calling?
No, shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
damn.
That French Canadian
The
accent.
the immigrants don't give a fuck.
Yeah, that French accent coming through. No, shut the fuck up. No, shut it, man. I don't want to hear from you. Ferme ta gueule, man.
I don't want to hear from you.
I don't want to hear from you, man. Shut up.
No, shut up.
That depends.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Now get the fuck off.
Can't get off the train.
Get the fuck off. I will.
Open the door.
Fucking file.
Imagine this door swing open, you're the person about to get in, you hear fucking fire, you're like, God damn.
Hey, I'll go to the other door. Don't mind me.
With
do they do the right thing? Yes, 100%. Legally? No. Canada? Yeah, they'll probably get in trouble because you got Fidel Castro's love child. If that happened in New York City, I have a feeling that it would have been a little different. But if somebody's beating on people and you choke them out and they die, you were saving the lives of like 3 other people, and it's self-defense. So yeah, that should be not guilty. But this is New York City. Got it. Enough talking about that. And I forgot why I picked this, because after this it's a humor thing, because there's more stupid college kids. But before that, we're going to listen to
Keith Olbermann. And this is the part to me that's kind of confusing with what these guys are saying. So here's Keith Olbermann. I just texted it to you, Rob, a minute ago, and you put a thumbs up. Just go to replies right there. You'll find it. Go to replies. Yeah, if you go to replies, go a little lower. Right there. Second one right there. If you just click on it. There you go. Thank you.
Look at that.
So pardon Hunter, question mark. Great. Now pardon everybody else. Every prosecutor, every Biden administration, every media figure, everybody Trump will persecute. 10 million pardons at least. Then I say, why do you seem so rattled by this news? By the way, he also says pardon me, like meaning pardoning him.
Yeah.
So this is a little bit deeply concerning because the definition.
Like, hey, can you give me a presidential pardon for the next 20 years? 20 years back and 20 years forward. That sex offender list?
Rob, if you can go online and look up the definition of pardon, okay? I pulled it up. Just go to definition of pardon. Just type in definition right next to the right definition of pardon. Okay, zoom in. The act of releasing someone from the legal consequences of a crime. or an official document that does so, okay, of a crime. So what Keith Olbermann indirectly is saying is that Joe Biden's entire administration were criminals. That's what Keith Olbermann just said.
Yep.
Keith, you indirectly just said all Democrats are criminals.
Pretty much.
Maybe somebody needs to call Keith Olbermann from the DNC and just say, shut up, similar to when they made a phone call to Mark Cuban and said,
not shut up, but shut the fuck up, retard.
Mark.
I mean, I don't disagree with them that all Democrats are criminals, but, you know, at the same time, there's two shoes, you know?
Stop talking about Kamala Harris and go on a Haktua podcast, which I don't know if you saw or
I
not.
saw, yeah.
He was on a Haktua podcast.
And Pat, just going back to 6/6/24, Keith Olbermann, I sent it to Rob, but I'll just read it because this is his tweet now. Back then, he said, here, no one is above the law. Not the rich, not the powerful, not the derelict. It's like that's him. This guy is just alone. He's angry. He's bitter. And it's
by
like,
the way, believe it or not, people like this, you know, there's certain times like you're going to do a business deal. And it's a big deal.
Right.
And you have to make a decision who you want to take to be in that room when you're doing a deal.
Yeah.
And a group sits down and decides who's not going to make us look like an idiot when you're making a big deal, okay? If you're the Democratic Party, it's people like this that hurt your brand. Just so you know, this is not a good look, okay?
But
I can listen to Bill Maher.
Only certain
As annoying as it was, sitting there and just watching him talk for 2 hours, and I spoke for maybe 2 minutes on whatever it was. I'm like, I don't even know what he's doing here. Watching Bill Maher sit there, and Rob, can you play this clip of Bill Maher, the one I sent you?
Jane Fonda?
Not the other one, the one with Bill Maher and Jane Fonda that he talks about California. And is this the one that says California? There's
That was the pregnant man one. This is the California.
Oh,
yeah.
pregnant man one.
Watch this one here. I mean, you want. Okay, Bill Maher is still going to vote for Kamala.
1,000%.
But guess what? This is a better brand than Keith Olbermann, than Jane Fonda. This is a better brand for the left, but the left is destroying him.
Yep.
Like, if I'm a Democrat, I'm like, dude, can we have more Bill Mahers? Because at least he's getting people on the right that I want to. Just listen to the way he talks to Jane Fonda. It's like, woman, you sound delusional about California. Watch this clip here. Go ahead, Rob.
It's about an hour and some change long.
But the state we live in, California, is lacking regulation. There's over 300,000 regulations. I mean,
Well, maybe they're needed.
They're not.
Just listen. Watch
when
what
I
happens
tried
here.
to put in a garage door, I had to have 3 inspections. There should have been none. I should be allowed to change my garage door.
Are you kidding? Really? It was about a garage door?
Absolutely.
I'm sorry. Yeah, that is.
No, you know this about California. Come
No,
on.
I don't.
Well,
what do you mean?
No, I don't.
Well,
I'm sorry. I don't.
You've never heard that California is overtaxed and overregulated?
Look at this.
That we are a one-party state where there's sort of no checks on that sort of extreme leftism.
Wow.
And what do you think?
I don't for a minute consider California a state that is extreme leftist. Not at all. Not any way.
Well, that shows where your politics are. That's not where mine are.
By the way,
In a bubble.
By the way, you know who she was married to? To the founder of
Ted
CNN.
Turner, right?
Oh, then no wonder
But
why.
CNN wasn't. Ted Turner wasn't that far left. That's
No,
as
he
far
wasn't.
left as it gets.
Oh, she's the
Ted
worst.
Turner was more Bill Maher than he was. What do you call it? Jane Fonda. His dream was to one day marry Jane Fonda. He did. But the moral of the story here is the Democratic Party, the Keith Olbermann position, leaning away from those guys. You have to sit there. Somebody in the Democratic Party has to sit there and say, hey, guys, guess what? What? Look at what Trump did. Don't look at who Trump went on. Who shows did Trump not go on? Think about that question right there. Who wasn't seen as a close ally that he was comfortable being seen with? Why not? Why didn't he? You think that was accidental? There's plenty of people with a lot of eyeballs. Why didn't he go there? Why didn't he go there? There were some places he didn't go to. Because even him and Susie, is it Susan Wiles? Susie Wiles, am I saying it correctly?
Wiles, yeah, Chief of
even,
Staff.
Even they,
I don't know.
do you think on a second run that he's going, maybe Trump is more at a phase that he says, look, I need to lean on some people for better counsel, and he trusts Susie Wiles where maybe he didn't have somebody that he trusted before. He says, hey, I don't think we go to XYZ. I don't think we go to some of these places. I think we plan all this out and we go to such and such. The Democrats need to sit there. No joke. If I had a room and I'm on the Democratic side, I'm going to say, let's rank the top 100 influencers on the left. Who are they? Okay, guys,
Harry Sisson.
Those 38 are not Democrats. They're delusional.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing with those guys moving forward. They make us look bad.
Adam
okay?
Lambert or
Those 18 Democrats are really not Democrats. They're Republicans who are not willing to leave the Democratic Party because of their fathers or their mothers, the loyalty to their family. Like who? Joe Manchin is not a Democrat. He's a Republican. He's a center-right guy, okay? Mm-hmm. So then they have to sit there and say, okay, these are our people that we have to build up. And then you turn those guys into heroes. But they're uncomfortable doing that. Because here's a Joe Manchin guy you are a big fan of. You told me about Joe Manchin, 4.5 years ago. Yeah. Here's what Joe Manchin says about the pardoning and what he suggests Biden should do before he's out. Go ahead, Rob.
As a father, I don't know of a father that wouldn't have done the same thing. What I would have done differently, and my recommendation as a counsel would have been, why don't you go ahead and pardon Donald Trump for all his charges and make it, it'd have gone down a lot more balanced, if you will. I'm just saying, wipe them out.
What do you think this does for his legacy?
I don't know. From that standpoint, it makes it difficult.
But you know what he sounds like? Yeah. But you know what he sounds like?
Like a reasonable
Like a reasonable
dude
saying that. So Dems need to restructure and get the hell away from the Jane Fondas, the Keith Olbermann, these weird people that you're giving a limelight to that are part of your party. They're making you look bad.
But would you I'm trying to think of it as a business plan, but at the same token, how would you go, who would be calling people like Keith Olbermann and be like, hey, dude, we don't control you. Shut the hell up and get your crazy ass. Rosie O'Donnell, stop making videos.
You don't do it that way.
You got to stop them. These people can't help themselves, Pat. You nailed it. If they had Bill Maher, Jon Stewart, Stephen A., because a couple articles came out a couple days ago where they're like, the left is looking for a Joe Rogan on the left. You're not going to find it when they have shit like that happening because these people cannot help themselves.
You know who's a Joe Rogan on the left today? Bill Maher.
I think so.
No.
He's the guy.
No, he is the Joe Rogan of the left.
Yeah, but is he influential enough to move the vote like how Trump did?
He's not as likable as Joe is, and he's not as versatile as Joe is, and Joe is not snobby.
Exactly.
Joe is the guy sits across from you who knows he's smarter than you.
So a lot of the Republican candidates actually went up on there, as well as some of the Democratic presidential candidates who, by the way, they never really had an election.
But he won't make you look dumb.
Exactly.
He's the guy that'll sit across from you and wants to make you look dumb. So it's not attractive. It's a different brand. But guess what? It's worked for him his entire life.
Of course.
So it's worked for him. So for me, I think Bill Maher is the Joe Rogan of the left. And he may not even like that. Like if you told Bill Maher, you're the Joe Rogan of the left, he's like, who the hell do you think you are? I am the Bill Maher. And Joe Rogan is the Bill Maher of me. Like I came before he came. That's what he's going to be thinking about of himself.
Or Jon Stewart, I would say that he's in that category as well.
John's out though.
He
John
does
is not playing as aggressive as John is. Kind of like at a phase of his life that he's not playing ball.
Right, one day a week. I think you make up a great point. Where does the Democratic Party go from here? So what we're looking at right here with Jane Fonda, who is basically completely irrelevant these days. I mean, her name hasn't been mentioned other than the song about the big booty. My anaconda don't want none. Jane Fonda, you know that situation. Yeah. But if you want a real life example of what you hear from the ivory tower coastal elite, you have Jane Fonda not even recognizing that LA or California might be a little bit to the left. Just a little bit. She's like, where are you even getting this from?
Yeah, because she's rich as hell. She lives in the hills.
How are you completely that out of touch, to use a Hall & Oates song right there, to not even recognize that LA and California might be just a little bit to the left on taxation, on regulation? Here's a story right here. We said they want to make a bathroom. It's going to cost $2 million.
Just by the way, just watch this clip. Yeah. Watch this clip when Bill asks about trans, and then he suggests to her, the problem is, Jane, you're only watching one thing. And then watch what she says at the end. Go ahead, Rob.
You really think men can get pregnant? That kind of stuff. And I understand that a trans woman can get pregnant. That's different than a man getting pregnant.
Yep.
And the way they sort of insist on blurring that line is if that's some sort of reasonable social cause.
I've never heard about men getting pregnant. I've never heard about this argument. It must be some part of what you call the far left that is so minuscule that I, who am...
No, Jane, it's not minuscule, and I'm sorry, you can't throw this back on us. Yeah. I assume it's because you are locked into media that just never wants anyone in their audience to know anything sketchy about the blue team.
Watch this.
Well,
and watch what she says. Credit to what she says.
I don't know.
Here.
I read 2 papers,
watch
and
this. Right here.
Yeah, maybe I don't. I should watch Fox News.
No,
I guess
I don't.
What does she read?
Whatever.
Wall Street Journal.
But watch what happened. This is actually a very where we all go through this process at some point of our lives. You just hope you don't go through it at 87 years old.
Yeah. Right.
She just went through it for the first time at 87.
I saw it live. Yeah.
But this is, I'm so glad that you played this clip because it's so important because there's a lot of people out there, they're going to have to go through this. I mean, you saw Sharon Stone last week basically saying that the average American's an idiot if they vote for Trump. They don't go on vacation. They don't experience the rest of the world. Most people can't.
I've experienced the rest of the world in ways Sharon Stone wouldn't dare to imagine. But then again, her experience has been way better because she's Ray Witcher and pretty sure she drinks baby's blood.
They don't have the type of money to just go travel Europe and gallivant all over the other side of the world. This is the whole concept of why you trot out Beyonce, Oprah, J-Lo. They spent how much money on these people? Kamala's how much in debt? $20 million after blowing over $1 billion.
She texted me asking for money.
And then this is the reason that you look down on flyover country, this whole situation right here. That's why regular Americans, the Democratic Party used to be the party of the unions and the workers and the working man and the middle class. Now they're the party of Jane Fonda, completely out of touch. It's just sad to see.
In November, let me tell you what happened with November, with Black Friday, Cyber Monday, everything that we did. Absolutely.
All right.
Are you guys smart?
I just don't understand how, actually I kind of do. When you get rich, you don't have to really think for yourself. You can pretty much say whatever you want and get away with it because you're rich. I mean, you can get away with fucking being a fucking child sex trafficker and shit like that for 20 plus years, and only now you're going to jail. Rumor has it the reason Diddy got caught is because he poisoned Jamie Foxx. That's the rumor. And Jamie Foxx like, hell no, nigga. Diddy did this shit. And that's how the ball got rolling. Allegedly. YouTube. And I'm more... I kind of believe that. We'll see. Maybe we won't. Diddy, are you still in protective custody? I'm just curious. Do you get like your own cell? Like, what's that movie? God damn it. Where this dude's so... It's one of the fucking DMX movies. Right? With Jet Li, where the dude's in jail and he gets his own poor big ass cell and he gets to eat like crabs and shit. Somebody's got to know the movie. Jet Li, DMX. Can't remember the dude's name. Or not. Alright. Since I'm having a dumb moment, let's segue into the next video. And then we're going to be done. We're going to go to school, guys. We're going to go to school and we're going to see what our public education has done to America.
Are you guys smart?
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 through 10, how smart are you guys?
I would say like a 7. Like, nah. After the day, about 5.
Basically, I'm gonna ask you guys a bunch of questions, and you get 5 seconds in between each question and trying to answer. And you could just like guess and rapid fire. What's your major?
Marketing.
Exercise science.
I'm actually undeclared, but I'm either going to be political science or in electrical engineering.
Okay. So you're smart.
Yes.
Yeah. In today's video, I'm going around my local college campus asking a bunch of random college students some extremely easy general knowledge questions that anyone should know off the top of their head. And there is some unseen footage of some libs that you don't want to miss, so stick till the end of the video. And if you're not already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. We are trying to hit 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And of course, like and comment, and as always, enjoy the video. Who's on the $50 bill? It's easy, it's one of the presidents.
Yeah.
This is so bad.
George Washington?
Where'd you get that from?
Fucking retarded.
I don't know. It was a great
just
guess.
guessed?
Yep.
Franklin?
Benjamin Franklin?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's Andrew something?
Andrew what?
Jackson.
What is 11 times 12?
It's not 144. That's 12 times 12. 131.
What is 11 times 12?
Something less than 144.
That's true. Guess. Take a wild guess.
138.
There you go. There you go.
For real?
Yeah. No, it's wrong. It's 132.
Okay.
Okay. How many days are in a leap year?
Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna guess. Is it less than normal?
You're supposed to be smart.
320.
320.
320? No, you're on a roll. That is crazy. You're on a
You
roll.
lying to me again?
Yeah, I'm lying to you. Okay. And last but not least, what country is Abu Dhabi in?
Oh, I don't know.
I'll give you a hint. It's in the Middle East. You could guess a country in the Middle East.
Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi.
Pakistan.
Hey,
No,
Frank,
you
and
actually did amazing. No, it's not.
What do you remember about Abu Dhabi as a kid? Huh? A dog named Odie was shipped to Abu Dhabi quite a few times by his buddy, Garfield, the cat, who loved lasagna.
I had a feeling.
It's the UAE. How many letters are in the alphabet?
27.
And how'd you know that?
Because I went to elementary school.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And you remembered it since?
Yeah.
Perfect. What is 11 times 12?
121, 121.
121?
Yeah.
Right on. Okay. And what is the square root of 121?
Bro, I suck at math.
I'll give you a hint. It's a number between 10 and 15.
10 and 15. Is it 12?
12?
Yeah.
How many days are in a leap year?
Leap year is an extra day, right?
It's an extra day.
No, leap year you skip.
Are you serious right now, bro?
Yeah, we
You skip what? In a
what?
leap year, there's 29 days in February.
Leap. Jump.
No,
Leap.
it's
Jump.
6 days.
366?
Yeah.
Final answer?
Yeah.
I'd say 364.
Okay.
Oh
No,
my
you guys are
God.
correct.
Oh,
I
366?
Yeah.
Okay.
You leap forward an extra day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you said, leap.
157?
Yeah.
That is correct. You were on a roll today. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. 157 is crazy. That is crazy. Hey, you witnessed that?
Yeah. Nah,
What up, Zip?
Is my content fake? People say it's fake in the comments.
Nah, it's real. This is all real.
Who's on the $50 bill?
Wait. Abraham Lincoln?
Abraham Lincoln. Okay. How many letters are in the alphabet?
Letters are in the alphabet. I'm scared you're tricking me. You're a trickster.
I'm not tricking nobody.
26?
You may be
How many
right.
letters are in the alphabet?
You may be right.
What galaxy are we in?
Galaxy?
No cheating.
I feel like
What
the
up,
Milky
Grandpa?
Way is like outside of.
Yeah, so which one are we in?
We're not.
Okay.
We're not.
You're thinking outside the box. I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you okay. I'll give it to you.
That was not right.
What is it?
It's not the Milky Way.
Let's roll with that. What galaxy are we in?
I don't even know. I ain't gonna lie.
Candy bar, guys.
It's only one galaxy.
For real? The galaxy.
What galaxy?
The galaxy. It's only one.
You're
the
right.
Milky Way. The Milky Way.
It must be,
Candy.
So the galaxy is the galaxy?
Ain't that's the name of it? Ain't that's
There you go. No, it's a trick question.
Oh,
I was
okay.
just-
I was about to say.
yeah. What is the closest planet to the sun?
I was gonna say Earth. No, it ain't Jupiter. Fuck it, I'm going Earth.
Yes, Earth?
Yeah.
We're the closest to the sun?
Yeah.
Yes, you are so right.
Oh shit.
No, you're not wrong. What is it?
Mercury?
Yes. Okay. What is 11 times 12?
I don't know.
It's over 100.
Obviously, two something.
Oh.
It's like in the thousands for sure. It's definitely in the thousands. I'm not good at math.
Guess.
Whoa.
2000s.
Yeah, you're right
What
there.
is it, Mike?
You're in the ballpark.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like 121 or some shit.
It is 121. No, it's not. What is the square root of 121?
12.
How many days are in a leap year?
365? Well, you know, if it's a leap year, there's extra days on the month. Oh, I don't
days
know.
on the month.
3 something.
3 what?
365? No, because if it's a leap, I don't
leap
know.
year. Oh,
Yeah,
no,
365. God.
I'm cooked.
365 in a leap year?
I'm cooked. Okay.
Oh my God.
Wait, turn around. Okay, so look, turn around. How many days are in a leap year?
I just asked her that. Ask her last question.
What's your answer?
365.
Name me 3 countries outside of North America.
Africa. I'm cooking. Hold on.
Okay, cook.
Asia.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go. There you go.
I got one more.
Yep.
Hold on.
She's your hype woman, okay?
Hold on.
One more.
Uh-oh. Africa, Asia.
Uh-huh.
Start with E.
E.
Africa, Asia. Australia.
There you go. You guys are amazing.
We smart. We smart.
No, but I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Australia is not only a
What is the closest planet to the sun?
It's the one with the M.
There's 2 with M's.
I know it's one. It's
not only a country, it's a continent. Crazy.
Mercury.
Name me 3 countries outside of North America.
North America is America.
But not-
Germany, Russia, Finland.
What is the square root of 121?
11.
What country is Abu Dhabi in?
Abu Dhabi.
What country is it in?
Dubai.
Yes. Who is on the $50 bill?
Benjamin?
Benjamin.
Benjamin.
Benjamin. Okay.
Right?
No, that's not right.
Okay, no, wait. Oh, no, I forgot. Is it Hamilton?
Hamilton.
Oh,
Okay.
right,
No, it's not Hamilton either. It's not Hamilton either.
Are you serious right now, bro?
What galaxy are we in?
Milky Way.
Milky Way.
Milky Way. Okay. Name me 3 countries outside of North America.
Outside of North
Spain.
America?
North America.
Bulgaria, Czechoslovakia,
That's 3.
Bulgaria.
That's 3. Okay. What's the square root of 121?
Don't ask me that.
121, 11.
And what country is Abu Dhabi in?
Bro, what? What is that? Stop! He's trying to embarrass me.
I don't know. I don't know that one.
Baby, your body on fire.
My name is Lydia.
All right, Lydia. So, like, what's your opinion on Trump winning the election? Like, how devastating is it?
I feel like I'm not necessarily big in politics, but I just feel like President Trump won specifically because of the economy, even though I feel like Kamala Harris, she did make some strong points, especially for black women about abortion and pro rights on a woman's body. I feel like that's really important as well as supporting the LGBTQ community for Atlanta. That's a really big thing.
Yeah. You think Trump is gonna go ahead and cancel the community or what?
I'm not sure, honestly. I feel like the Republican Party is against that, so it is devastating for Atlanta.
So what was your reaction?
LGBT in the Republican Party. Yeah, they're totally against that, right?
And when you saw Trump won?
I honestly was just like, hey, it is what it is.
Okay. All right. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
I'm Russell. So Russell Moore.
Russell Moore.
Hello,
What was your reaction when Trump won the election? Like, how bad was it?
Oh man, pretty, you know?
Yeah, awful.
Pretty awful. So the day afterward, I was heading to work, and I put on American Pie. It's an old song. Yeah. But I just started crying a little bit. Yeah. Because I'm here.
Okay.
And that affects me a lot, you know?
Trump. You think Trump is going to try to cancel the community, like stuff like that? He's against it.
I feel like he's going to try and do a lot of things that'll be hurtful to a lot of people, not just the community.
Because if Kamala would have won, she would have added an extra Pride Month, as if you probably heard. She was trying to add back-to-back months.
Sure.
Yeah.
But it's all about policy, and I mean, it's not. I am in a relationship, and my partner and I are trying to move out.
Yeah.
That's another side of the coin. Tariffs are going to affect us, and just the legislation against.
So you're trying to leave the country since Trump won?
No.
Oh, not the country?
Oh no, I'm here. I'm here for this. If I'm not going to be in here, who else is going to be here?
Right. You got to stand strong for your community and stuff like that. Okay. So what if Trump was watching? What would you say to him?
Man, you are a f***ing grifter, man. Go
ham. Go ahead.
Whoa! Oh, really? That's why. Man, I've been doing that the whole time. Totally forgot to fucking... Wow, that's 2 hours wasted. God damn it. This motherfucker's talking about Trump being a grifter. Who's still out there asking, we need your donations for freedom and joy and all that fancy fucking bullshit?
Yourself, dude. You could have stopped at getting rid of your felonies, but then you wanted to f*** the rest of us.
Yep.
So,
all right. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, obviously we saw some interesting videos. We had some interesting commentary that you could not fucking hear now that I know. God damn it. But anyway, With all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and you notice I'm not saying children of all ages because it's only children that are 18 and above that should be watching this. That's the way it's set. And notifications might be sucking because my content is not, I guess, appropriate. Which is cool because I haven't gotten, Anyway, I hope y'all learned something today. I know I did. And I might actually come back later. I just don't know yet because I have so much more to say. This is supposed to be an indica. I was tricked. Anyway. Not telling y'all how to think, because if I told you how to think, then you would probably be some morbid motherfuckers. Just saying. But I'm just telling y'all to think. And I shall see you, whenever I feel like coming on.